In the shadowed annals of history, where empires rose not on the clash of swords but on the quiet erosion of resolve, a single truth echoes through time. The mightiest fortresses fall not to thunderous assaults, but to the relentless whisper of the wind. Imagine standing atop an ancient citadel, gazing out at an encroaching force that never charges, yet day by day your supplies dwindle, your allies waver, and your spirit frays at the edges. This is the essence of triumph without turmoil, a strategy as old as human ambition itself. In the arena of life's competitions, be it the boardroom battles, the intricate webs of relationships, or the subtle games of influence, learning to protect yourself from manipulation isn't about drawing lines in the sand or raising shields in defiance. It's about becoming the unyielding rock against which waves crash fruitlessly, exhausting the tempests that seek to erode you. Consider the predator in human form, the manipulator who weaves illusions of urgency, preys on your fears, or dangles false promises like bait on a hook. They thrive on your reactions, your hasty countermeasures that drain your energy and expose your vulnerabilities. But what if, instead of engaging in the fray, you chose the path of the wise guardian? This is where the power of strategic endurance reveals itself. By conserving your resources, your time, your emotional reserves, your financial stability, you transform potential conflict into a waiting game where the aggressor tires first. It's not passivity, it's precision. Think of it as nurturing a garden in the midst of a storm. You don't fight the rain, but you build subtle barriers, redirect the flow, and let the deluge nourish your roots while it washes away the weeds. To embody this, begin with the fortress of your mind. Manipulators often strike at your psyche, planting seeds of doubt or inflating egos to provoke impulsive decisions. Counter this by cultivating psychological resilience, a quiet armor forged in reflection and foresight. Start each day with a ritual of clarity. Journal your intentions, not as a diary of woes, but as a map of your unshakable core values. When a colleague subtly undermines your ideas in a meeting, resist the urge to retort sharply. Instead, smile inwardly, note their tactic, and redirect the conversation to neutral ground. Over time, their efforts become futile, like arrows loosed into fog. This isn't avoidance, it's elevation. You're rising above the battlefield, preserving your mental vitality while they expend theirs in vain pursuits. Economically, the principle shines even brighter. In a world where influence peddlers might lure you into risky investments or burdensome commitments, adopt the siege mentality of the prudent steward. Build buffers, savings not just in banks, but in networks of genuine alliances that aren't easily swayed. When faced with a persuasive pitch that tugs at your wallet, pause. Research quietly, consult trusted advisors without fanfare, and let the proposer's impatience reveal cracks in their facade. Perhaps delay your response, citing thoughtful consideration, until their enthusiasm wanes or better opportunities arise for you. Victory here is in the unseen, the deal they abandon because you've made pursuit too costly in time and effort. It's uplifting to realize that your stability isn't luck, it's strategy, a testament to your inner strength. Extend this to social blockades, those invisible walls that protect without aggression. Manipulators often infiltrate through shared circles, gossip, or feigned friendships. Rather than confront, subtly recalibrate your boundaries. Limit interactions to essentials, redirect conversations away from personal vulnerabilities, and foster environments where transparency reigns, but your depths remain guarded. Imagine a river diverting around an obstacle. The water doesn't fight the rock, it flows onward, leaving the stone isolated. In relationships, this might mean encouraging a partner's independence, not through ultimatums, but by pursuing your own passions, thus exhausting any attempts at control through dependency. Yet this approach demands moderation, an epic poise that avoids the pitfalls of paranoia. Not every interaction is a siege. Discernment is your ally. Trust in your growth, for each non-engagement is a step toward mastery. As the sun sets on exhausted foes, you'll stand taller, your foundations deeper. This isn't about outwitting others, it's about outlasting the chaos, emerging wiser and more empowered. In the grand tapestry of existence, those who win without wounds weave the most enduring legacies. Embrace this path and watch as the world bends not to your force, but to your unyielding grace. Picture a vast field under a brooding sky, where warriors once charged with banners high, only to find their vigor sapped by unseen thorns and endless marches. The victors? Not the bold chargers, but the patient harvesters who waited for the seasons to turn, gathering strength while others faltered. In the theater of human endeavor, where manipulation lurks like hidden snares in the underbrush, true protection lies not in the swing of the axe, but in the slow, deliberate tilling of the soil. This ancient wisdom teaches us that in competition or conflict, the harvest of success is richest when reaped from fields left fallow by the weary, economically parched, psychologically drained, isolated by their own overreach. It's a strategy of sublime efficiency, where your greatest weapon is the opponent's exhaustion, and your shield is the quiet accumulation of inner fortitude. To safeguard against the artful deceiver who might charm with words laced in honey or coerce through veiled threats, adopt the mindset of the eternal observer. They feed on your haste, your emotional outflows that leave you depleted. Instead, channel the epic restraint of legends past, the generals who besieged cities not with catapults but with patience, allowing hunger and doubt to do the work. Apply this to your daily defenses by prioritizing self-preservation over spectacle. When a friend or associate attempts to manipulate through guilt or flattery, respond with measured warmth, acknowledge but defer action. That's an interesting perspective. Let me reflect on it becomes your mantra, a gentle deflection that costs you nothing while compelling them to invest more energy. Psychologically, this veiled harvest blooms in the garden of self-awareness. Manipulators exploit fractures in your confidence, but by nurturing a resilient spirit, you turn their efforts into fertilizer for your growth. Engage in practices that replenish. Meditation not as escape, but as reconnaissance, scanning your inner landscape for weaknesses to fortify. Read widely, not to arm for battle, but to enrich your worldview, making you less susceptible to narrow narratives. In professional rivalries where a superior might undermine your progress, document achievements quietly, build skills in the shadows, and let their micromanagement tire them out. Your advancement then feels organic, uplifting, a natural progression born of perseverance rather than confrontation. On the economic front, envision yourself as the shrewd merchant in a bustling bazaar, where hagglers push deals with fervor. Protect your assets by embracing delayed gratification. When tempted by a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that smells of strings attached, impose your own timeline. Request more details, compare alternatives discreetly, and watch as the manipulator's urgency unravels. This isn't cunning, it's prudence, a smart stewardship that multiplies your resources. Diversify your investments, not just financially, but in knowledge and relationships, creating a web so robust that no single pull can topple it. The result? A stable prosperity that inspires, proving that true wealth is in the wisdom of waiting. Isolation through subtle blockades forms the third pillar. In social dynamics, manipulators thrive on access, deny it gracefully. Curate your circle with intention, fostering connections that uplift rather than drain. When dealing with a persistent influencer, reduce availability without explanation, busy schedules, focused pursuits, until their attempts fade. This creates space for genuine bonds, turning potential isolation into empowerment. In broader competitions like market rivalries, outlast by innovating quietly, adapting to shifts while others burn out on aggressive expansions. Moderation tempers this epic approach. It's not about suspicion, but serenity. Celebrate small victories, the clarity gained, the energy conserved as steps toward a grander harmony. In this way, protection becomes elevation, a motivational force that captivates the soul. As fields yield to the patient hand, so too will your life bear fruits of enduring peace and power. Stand firm in this knowledge, and the winds of manipulation will scatter like chaff, leaving you to reap the golden harvest of a life well guarded.